Hi, in this video we're going to look at the reactions of alkenes, including hydrogenation, addition of the halogens, chlorine, bromine and iodine, testing for unsaturation using bromine water, and the hydration of alkenes using steam to form alcohols. Now recall that alkenes all contain a carbon-carbon double bond. Now this is the functional group or reactive part of an alkene molecule that largely controls the type of reaction it will undergo. Now alkenes mainly undergo a type of reaction called an addition reaction. Here, a small molecule, such as a hydrogen molecule, a water molecule, or a halogen, such as chlorine, bromine, or iodine, will simply add across the double bond in the unsaturated alkene molecule to form new substances. Now when the small molecule adds across the carbon-carbon double bond, it is split into a carbon-carbon single bond. The addition of hydrogen to an alkene is often called hydrogenation. Now the process of hydrogenation requires the use of a catalyst such as nickel, platinum or palladium. The result of this catalytic hydrogenation reaction is to turn an unsaturated alkene molecule into a saturated alkane molecule. Now one of the uses of this reaction is to harden vegetable oils. Oils such as olive oil are unsaturated molecules and they can contain lots of carbon-carbon double covalent bonds. It is the presence of these carbon-carbon double bonds which is largely responsible for lowering the melting point of these compounds, and it is the reason why oil is a liquid at room temperature. However, by simply removing some or all of these carbon-carbon double bonds by adding hydrogen to them, it is possible to harden the oil, that is to raise its melting point, so that it turns into a semi-hard solid such as margarine. Halogen molecules, such as chlorine, bromine and iodine, can also undergo similar addition reactions and simply add across the carbon-carbon double bond in an unsaturated alkene molecule. For example, a chlorine molecule can add across the carbon-carbon double bond in an ethane molecule and form a saturated molecule where each of the carbon atoms in the original carbon-carbon double bond have a chlorine atom added to them. Similar reactions can also be carried out using the halogens bromine and iodine to form bromoethane and iodoethane. Obviously, other unsaturated alkenes other than ethane can also be used to carry out these reactions. Now the addition of bromine to an alkene molecule is often used in the lab as a test for the presence of unsaturation in a molecule. That is, the presence of a carbon-carbon double bond. For example, the alkene which is most readily available in the lab is cyclohexene, which is a colourless liquid. Now if a few mils of cyclohexene is added to a boiling tube, and then a few drops of red-orange bromine water is added to the boiling tube and the contents shaken, the red-orange colour disappears almost immediately. This is simply because the orange-red colour is due to the presence of bromine, and this adds to the carbon-carbon double bond in the cyclohexene molecule and so is no longer present. Now if a similar experiment is repeated, but the saturated alkane, cyclohexane, is added to the boiling tube this time, followed by the addition of bromine water, then this time there is no immediate colour change. The orange colour, due to the presence of the bromine, stays visible. Microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi and viruses can all be killed by the alcohol ethanol. Many medicinal and surgical wipes, as well as hand sanitizers, all contain the alcohol ethanol. Now alcohols such as ethanol can be made in a reaction called hydration, where steam adds across the carbon-carbon double bond in an alkene molecule. This exothermic reaction requires the use of a phosphoric acid catalyst, a pressure of around 60 atmospheres and a temperature of about 300 degrees Celsius. For example, steam can add to the alkene molecule ethene to form the alcohol ethanol. You may notice from the equations on screen that this reaction is reversible. When the steam and ethene are passed through the reacting vessel containing the catalyst, some of the ethene and steam will react to form ethanol. However, most of the ethene and steam do not react at all. This means a mixture of steam ethanol and unreacted ethene will leave the reaction vessel. This mixture of gases is then cooled in a condenser, which will cause the ethanol and steam to condense to form liquids, which are then removed. The unreacted ethene, which does not condense, is instead recycled back through the reactor and goes through this reaction loop again. For more information and help on the reactions of alkenes, why not visit the website that accompanies these videos? If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe.